Hello, 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 hello. I honestly, I'm quite happy. I'm excited to do this pod because, first of all, the big change I've made is the background behind me. I used to have the Denver Nuggets behind me. I had to get a new picture. I had to get the man who beat them. Him and I had to get them. But that's not why I'm super happy. As you can see, my name doesn't say my normal name, Michael Ball. It doesn't say that. It says Pacers in 7. Because that's about what the Pacers did last night and what the Pacers are going to do in the future. At least I can hope. Because I'm a big Pacers guy right now. They're like the Raptors junior to me. So I'm excited about what we've seen. But before I continue, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. This is the DM podcast. If I have the numbers correct, this is 23. That's that Jordan number. So it's a 23rd podcast. So but kind of with a Vince Carter pod, I'm not going to include that's a little different type of pod. We're not going to include it into our main type of pod like this one. But yeah, how is my boy YS? How you doing? How you
You
feeling?
already know. Every day above ground is a good one.
Of course, 10 feet up. In Canada right now, we have it's called Victoria Day. So we get the time off. So it's kind of good to have that extra time with the family, extra time doing whatever with friends, whatever you're doing. It's good to have this kind of extra day off, another day off work, another thing
Trust
that
me.
we could all be happy about. But yeah, let's dive right into it. Which series do you want to talk about first? Which game 7? We could have had a game 7 tonight, but Dallas ended up winning 4-2. We really could have another game 7.
I
It is what
know.
it is.
I know.
But which game do you want to go to from last night? Do you
Let's
want to go to
start
the
with the
Minnesota?
first game that played, right? Let's start with that New York Knickerbockers, sad face, sad face, sad face, right? And them Pacers that are pacing. Let's get it. Shout
So
out to Siakam.
the thing is,
Yeah.
I watched the first quarter and he was 5 of 5 in the first quarter. And when he touched the ball, he went to work. He saw OG, but in the press conference, he was kind of sad. He didn't really want to talk about it as much as like he knew he had to attack OG. But OG was also hurt. And OG is still his homie. So he didn't want to go too crazy on him. He didn't want to do crazy, but they still went nice. And I'm just glad that I'm gonna call them my Indiana Pacers are now in the Eastern Conference Finals because they're my team. I've been cheering them on. I
Yeah.
like Tyrese Halliburton. I like Miles Turner. I've been saying he's in the most, if you have a bunch of other players, he's like the most perfect role playing center. Shoots threes, plays defense. Perfect. I really like that team. I really wish Ben Mathurin could play because I think like if he was playing, their bench would even be more deep. Even though I kind of think the negative part about them, I don't think they pass the ball a lot, even though their assists are like 35. I feel like they get kind of like it's Nemhard's turn, where I feel like Halliburton and Pascal should be shooting a lot more than everyone else. But that's beside the point. My Pacers are in. Jalen Brunson did get hurt with a hand injury in the third quarter, but I would say throughout the game, it looked like the Pacers were doing their thing. It looks like they were going to win the game. They controlled the tempo. And when that team's controlling the tempo, they're a hard team to beat because to go up and down multiple times, to go as deep as they go in their bench, you can't compete, especially if you're New York and you don't have the depth that the Pacers have. But
Which
what
is
did you see from that game?
I've seen a lot of depth still, right, with the Pacers as well. Something to touch on, like these guys go, how deep do they go? You know what I mean? Like, was it 9, 10? Right? So Knicks, if you're lucky, they're going 9. If you're lucky. Like
If that's if yeah.
that's like players are injured, like Brunson broke his hand, right? So like they're gonna have to go on their bench. OG played a few minutes, sat out. So those are your two main starters, right?
Right.
So they're gonna have to dig. Like we've seen Deuce McBride, right? Shout Deuce, right? We've seen a lot more of him, but man, where do I begin? You know, like if I was a gambling man, I would have lost my car because I told one of my boys, I said, you know what? I'll put my car on the Knicks winning in 7. I'll put my car on them winning in game 7 in the Garden. Boy, boy, was I wrong. And boy, were you right. You were right the whole time. My shout out. My
I thought the
shout.
Knicks were gonna win though. I thought the Knicks were gonna win game 7 because the home team kept winning and it was a game 7 in the Mecca.
And everyone was there. I seen Larry Johnson, Spruill, Starks is always there, right? I'm
Yeah.
seeing everyone there though, and plus the stars that are there too. Some, you know what I mean. But Pacers had a big lead. It got chopped down to I want to say 7 at a time. I'm like, okay, this is looking like the Knicks could climb back, and Pacers just kept hitting timely shots, getting timely steals, rebounds. Siakam was, man, McConnell. Shout out McConnell. Should have 23 large?
No, last game he only had 12, but he had like
Well,
20
that was the
points.
game before.
Yeah,
Game
he
before.
has been really good. Really good. Throughout the whole like playoff,
So,
he's been good.
so, but they're going against Beantown.
Yeah.
Beantown
We'll
is
get
better on paper, but I'm not gonna lie. For entertainment purposes only, I'd rather watch the Pacers.
yeah.
If I want to be entertained and you know what I mean, I'm watching the Pacers. If I want to win the game, I'm gonna play the Celtics.
Yeah. 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 Now, do you think because everyone's like a lot of people are blaming Thibodeau because of how much he plays his players.
This is
Do you
nothing
agree with that
new.
notion?
This here's the thing with Tibbs. Tibbs has been doing this for at least I want to say
His
15,
whole
14 years now.
yeah,
Like
legit.
14, 15 years now. Why do you
Yeah.
think Rose had those injuries? You know, it was sure Rose was how he was landing and stuff, whatever, but Tibbs is playing these guys. Tibbs is playing Boozer, Dang, Brewer, Rose, all 40 minutes a game in the regular season,
All right.
right? So, and that was 2010 when LeBron was going to the Heat, or 11, I should say, going to the Heat days, right?
Yeah.
So Dang, I remember Dang averaged the most minutes in the league for 1-2 seasons and under Tibbs. It's nothing new for Tibbs. Still, he's gonna play guys 42 minutes. Hart was playing how many games straight? So I feel like could they be gassed? Could it be tired? Yes, because there is morning shoot around. There is practice in between type shit, right? So yes, these guys could get tired, right? The traveling back and forth because it's only a day in between games, right? They play Friday, then they're playing Sunday. And if it's a away and a home game, you're flying from Indy to New York the night after. You have a day, you're tired. You're tired.
Yeah, it's a tiring thing. Maybe I'm crazy. I didn't know New York had Shake Milton.
Oh
And
shit.
he's kind of a bucket. Like he can kind of get a bucket.
He was doing this thing on Philly, right?
Yeah. He's a guy that I would have wanted on the Raptors. I'm actually quite I didn't know that he was on that squad for some reason. Like I didn't
Tibbs don't play. Remember Rose on the Knicks? Did Rose get in PT under Tibbs?
no, he did because he loves Tibbs. Like Tibbs loves Rose. He like Rose got a little bit more minutes under him because he likes him. He actually generally likes him. So it's good. But the thing is, yeah, they're not as deep. You can't control a Randall injury. You can't control a Robinson injury. Like that stuff just happens. Like you weren't as healthy. Hart got hurt. You know, you have to rely a lot on Jalen Brunson, a lot. Like do I think if Randall was on the squad, they probably could have won potentially because of how hard they play. But I also think like when people say like, oh, if you had this one person, you would have won. That's so easy to say, but the team's offense totally changes once you
100,
put Randall on,
100,
right? Like they were
100.
already a very ISO heavy team. Randall hasn't been that great in the playoffs anyway. So you're assuming that Randall's going to be much better in the playoffs, right? You're assuming his history shows that, but it doesn't really show it. And then you wouldn't see the heroics that we've seen from Brunson that we saw. We wouldn't see Josh Hart do everything Josh Hart did. So I think it's easy to be like, oh, if you added, yes, if you all NBA player, will the team be better? Yes, but we can't say for sure they would have just like won by 6 games or something like that. But the Knicks would probably have been favored. I would agree. They were favored
Definitely.
now without Randall. If you think about it, they're favored now. So it's not like this is one thing I don't like about when people go like, oh, the Knicks played this team or this played this. No, they were favored regardless. Boston was favored against Miami. Boston was favored against Cleveland. Let's not be like, oh, yes, guys did get injured. The series probably would have been longer, but Boston was going to win it
A
regardless,
hundred, 100.
right? We can say that this one still went to a game 7, and But yeah, shout out to the Pacers. Reggie Miller is happy. He's doing the this like he's he's feeling himself, right? And overall, as a team, they're feeling themselves. And the one thing I wanted to say about the Pacers, because we saw in 2020, Dame took the Portland Trailblazers to the Western Conference Finals. Didn't touch anything since.
2019, 2019,
Was
2019.
2019?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The year
okay.
Raptors won the title. Yeah.
And then the Hawks made it to the Western Conference Finals, right?
And
And
they
then
beat
didn't
the
do
Knicks. Yeah,
and
yeah.
they didn't do anything for from that, right? When they faced was it they faced Boston? Who did they face in that finals? Or
I
no,
want
the
to say
Bucks.
Boston. I just remember them beating the Knicks, and it was like Trey Young. Everyone hated Trey Young, and I
No, I
think
think
that
it was
was
the
in the
Bucks.
second round, right?
Yeah, it was the Bucks because the Bucks would have beat them and then made it to the finals. Yeah. So, but they
Yeah,
haven't done anything since, right? They're like, look, Trae Young may get traded. So my thing is, people are talking about the Pacers as kind of that same team. This is kind of a fluke because Milwaukee is going to be better next year. So is Philly has the best chance of being better because they have $60 million to spend. So they're
true.
definitely going to get something in the offseason.
And
Like
don't
they just
forget, Miami is shouldn't be injured as much next
right?
season.
And if they try, they'll be much
Yeah.
better. Boston, you still have as good. So all these teams are still going to be pretty good. So Indiana's going to have a harder time next year. That's why I think this year, and you tell me if I'm wrong, go for it. Call Paul George. Call him. Be like, hey, what's up? Call another team and be like, Brandon Ingram. Even though I
He's a
do you think
B.
Brandon
He's a
Ingram
B.
and Pascal would they mesh well?
The thing is, you need to put a guy that can shoot threes at a high percentage around Pascal. And Ingram is right now he's not that player.
Yeah,
So I would say PG, come back home. He's not from there, but come back to your first franchise that show you the most love. You put in the most
right,
work for. And yeah, run it from there because you're actually gonna have a star. I
right.
can't
And
say he's a
that's what you
superstar, but
need.
a star.
Right, and that's what you need. And yeah, so I strongly think Indiana don't. I think sometimes people really rely on like, oh, everyone's gonna get better. The youth is gonna get better. Like everyone, like even OKC, if you look at them, and we'll talk about them right after. But like everyone banks on the fact that okay, we made it, so next year we're gonna make it again. OKC with KD, Westbrook, and Harden didn't touch anything after. Like it's hard to make it back. Circumstances happen, injuries happen. So to me, if you're Indiana, you go for it. You have the young pieces. You have a guy like Mathurin, and you have like a guy like Nemhard. I'm sorry. I'm saying who wants Mathurin?
Yeah,
I mentioned it to you before. Why not call Brooklyn? I know you said you're correct. You should get a star. Get guys of PG level. If not, maybe Brandon Ingram. Mikal Bridges isn't gonna be at that same level. But maybe they can be like, okay, well, we'll take a pick and get Mathurin. They can start like a youth movement over there. Mathurin could kind of be a star. But then you can also just believe in the fact that Mathurin has a hell of potential. Kind of comes across like Jimmy Butler
which he does. He still hasn't reached the ceiling yet, right? But
at all.
I don't know. Like the thing is, I'm leaning towards leaning towards PG because he brings defense as well and a veteran, right? And like Siakam is their veteran right now, right? And PG there with Siakam, if that can happen, it'd be a good to me. They could work together, right? Halliburton there too can work there because Halliburton will distribute, get everyone their touches where they're supposed to get it. Because when was the last time PG really played with I don't call Harden a point guard. He just plays that
Yeah,
position.
he just handles the ball more. Yep, you're correct.
Yeah. When was the last time PG played with a P like a point guard, like an actual point guard?
Will you say Westbrook?
Is Westbrook a point? Oh man.
So yeah, you're saying facilitator type, like a Chris Paul type.
Yeah, like facility like Chris Paul, yeah.
That's
Halliburton.
his Indiana days then.
That's like George Hill.
Yeah.
Was Brogdon there when he was there? Was he? I don't know.
No. Brogdon couldn't have been there by then.
Yeah, you're right. So
Um,
yeah, it was like George Hill. Like it was like, yeah, like I'm gonna pass. George Hill's averaging maybe like 10 points.
right,
So
right.
yeah, so he needs to be with
And
a
I,
real guy.
and I think Halliburton is not the type to want to score too much. He seems like he wants like he'd rather get the 15 dimes.
Yeah, and the win,
Yeah,
which is perfect.
right. So then, but if you're Indiana, you're the GM of Indiana. Are you kind of going with the let's go for it mode, or let's see what Nemhard and Matherin could be?
The thing is, I'm doing it within reason. I'm not going too crazy. I'm gonna make a call, say, hey, Matherin and a pick, but I'm not willing to trade like all the youth movement though. Like a
Yeah,
3-team deal and trade da da da. No, no, no. I'm not doing that. Like I want to go for PG. I'm giving up a piece and a pick, not two picks, a piece and a pick, and see if they go for that. See what they can give me in return. That's how I'm
yeah.
moving. Because I
Because
like the youth movement still. They're not guaranteed to do anything next year, but if they can really develop together, they're playing with a lot of confidence already. So I'm not saying they're gonna get to the East Finals, but if they can get to like second round, you know what I mean? Then
yeah,
keep it running.
and the thing with the Pacers also is that they were in the finals in the in-season tournament. So as much as like people can go like this is a fluke for the in-season tournament, they're in the finals as well, and they had to beat Boston to get to the finals against LA. So this is a good team. Halliburton was on a mission that
They're,
first half of the season,
they're decent, yeah, yeah.
right? So I don't know. I think you're right. Like if you still have Nemhard, you still have Matherin, you have a guy named Jarris Walker who can be like your backup, like power forward center. So you have a lot of like you still have a lot of youth because those three guys are still under like 22, 23. So you still have a lot of guys. Halliburton's under 25. Like Turner is probably 27, 28, something like that. And then
And
Siakam is like 30 next. So you still have quality. And then if Matherin can go into another level, that makes you so much better.
if they can keep this squad for the next, I want to say 4 years, in 4 years, see what they can do in those 4 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because who knows? What if Halliburton goes to another step? Who knows?
And he didn't reach his ceiling yet. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Not there
No,
yet.
he hasn't. He hasn't. Okay, let's move on to the next series. To the man behind me, the one who honestly he talks a lot of shit. He does. But he backs it
It's
up.
shit, but it's not gritty shit. It's just I'm talking shit. It's playful shit.
Yeah, I agree. I
It's
agree.
good.
We're getting a new champion. We're getting for like the fifth year or sixth year in a row, we're
Six.
getting a new champion. The Denver Nuggets are eliminated. They lost. They were up like 11-12 in the game. And Minnesota just kept fighting and fighting. And what I felt like I saw in watching the game, Denver just got tired. Like they're missing shots. Like Jokic was still like
It looked
two
flat.
or three of nine for shooting the three. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't
it
good.
was flat. Yeah, it was flat from three.
Overall they're good. I saw that Michael Porter Jr. He like apologized to the team. He's like, "Oh, that loss is on me. My bad." That's what
Porter,
Michael Porter Jr. said.
shut the hell up, Porter. You're the third option. Ain't no loss on you in third option.
Well, if he's not playing well,
He
maybe
wasn't
this.
playing well at all. But you're the like you said, you're the third option. That's like fucking Josh Hart saying they lose series, guys, I blame me.
Yeah, yeah. In that sense, yeah, no, yeah, you can't blame yourself there. You should have played better
You
for
definitely should have
sure.
played better, but if you're not the number one guy on the team, even a two guy, that's like, oh man, that's like Giannis when Middleton was there and there was no Lillard. I blame that on me. If Middleton said that, I'll be like, you're number two still. Giannis, I'll say, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Jokic played 47 minutes. He was,
Wow.
yeah, 2 of 10 shooting the three. He had 19 rebounds, 34 points. Murray had 34 points. So here's my
Murray
thing.
had 30. Yeah, Murray had all his points in the first half. Yeah, yeah,
Murray had 35, sorry. Then Jokic had 34. But then everyone else, you know what? Like, this is where I would blame the other three. Gordon, Porter, and Caldwell Pope. Y'all didn't show up.
Mm-mm. In game seven at home.
In game seven, Gordon had 4 points. Porter had 7, shooting 3 of 12, 1 of 6 shooting the three. And KCP had 5 points, 2 of 7, 1 of 4. Yeah, you're not gonna win. Like your 2 stars, unless they're both going for 50 points. What they only scored 70. They need y'all. They need one more
What did
person.
their bench do?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Probably nothing. Probably 15
Zero.
total.
Justin Holiday had 0 points. Reggie Jackson has 0 points.
Wow.
And Christian Braun had 5 points.
So the bench swing was five.
5.
5.
I think they let them down. They let they let Jokic and Murray down.
Christian Braun was playing with some energy. Even though the 5 points, he was playing with some energy,
So much energy. He was
driving and
trying to get them
whatnot.
all up.
Yeah, he was trying to fire them up, but nah, it didn't work. Wow, 5 points off the bench. And only
Naz
three
Reid
of
had
them played.
11 points.
Only
No,
three of them played on the bench, huh?
yeah,
Another
yeah.
thing.
Naz Reid had 22 minutes, had 11 points. Um, See, like, see, Edwards was 6 of 24 because he wasn't Edwards. The thing is, Murray and Jokic had a great game. If you put stats wise, had a
Yep,
great game.
yep.
Ant had a horrible game. So if they lost, we'd be clowning Ant right now.
100.
He had a
100.
horrible game.
How many free throws did Ant have?
Let's see. Whew, 2.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
And he was he was attacking the rim at times still.
He was attacking because
The
I think he
physicality,
settled a little bit. Some of his shots he was settling.
like, yeah, yeah,
And then Towns is actually to me like the player of the game. And then also they just play a hell of defense.
yeah. Edwards is gonna get better because there were times it was like you need to pass it out the double quicker. You need to make
Yeah,
certain reads better. You shouldn't be taking that type of shot. You know what I mean? I like the fact that he would pass the ball at times quick and then go to get the ball back to see if he can make something happen. I like that fact about him, right? But
yeah.
other times he was kind of just shooting to shoot to just, you know what I mean? Thank God they
I,
actually have a point guard.
I think sometimes he was forcing it, but then I think it was the third quarter especially. I think he realized like I should stop for they're doubling me. Why am I forcing a shot on a double? Because he ended up with 7 assists, but I think that was when he realized McDaniels is shooting 3 of 4, shooting the three.
Shadow McDaniels.
Right? Like let me pass it out. Like let me do my thing. Like I realized he did. You know what I really like? Maybe it's because of this series. I'm surprised Slow Mo doesn't get a lot more minutes. 'Cause I think he's a quality player.
Um,
Kyle Anderson, like he's slow, but like he kind of is good defensively, kind of good offensively sometimes
like
as
I seen
well.
him in that game. I want to say he was in there like 7 minutes, 5 minutes,
Yeah, yeah, very like less minutes, like 4 minutes. That's it.
right? But he should be getting more minutes than Nikhil, right? And this is
I
nothing
think, but
against Nikhil.
Nikhil does his thing, man. Oh man,
He
he's
does, but at times he'd be taking some shots that are just at times. But
yeah, and like last night's game, he had 0 points, 0 of 6, 0 of 5 shooting the three.
yeah, it wasn't his night still.
Wasn't it wasn't this was really a defensive sided game, and Minnesota's just better defensively.
What about
Rudy
Towns?
Gobert did his thing, and
Yeah,
then when you look at okay, if you didn't see this the score yet, and you look at the stats, right? Rudy Gobert got fouled out. Karl Anthony Towns had 5 fouls,
yeah,
like he was about to get fouled out. McDonald's had 4, and then you look at you, then you go to Ant 6 of 24. You're like, oh, they probably lost
yeah.
if you just said that. But then, like I said, you go to Denver's lines, Mans didn't do shit. It's hard. It's hard to win back to back now. The league is too deep. It's hard.
He's too deep. Guys are not showing up. The fucking injuries,
Crazy.
right?
Crazy.
So I'm just surprised that Denver came out like that as a squad. Like Murray, I thought he was gonna go for 40, 50 that game because he had 24 in the first half.
Yeah.
Right? Joker shot bad from the field. Not I can't say bad. He shot bad from three. Overall, he played decent. But
Yeah.
Gobert, what really sealed the game, or what really demoralized the Denver Nuggets when Gobert hit that fadeaway to
He hit a
end the
Dirk
shot
shot.
clock?
He hit a Dirk shot. Turned around.
Yes,
Just
yes, and I'm just like Gobert hitting that straight through, not even a bank like a fluky, nah. And I seen the face on the Nuggets, and they were like, "Damn,
yeah.
in Denver, damn."
And shout out to Minnesota. They won 3 of their games this series was in Denver. They won. They only won one of their games. So that means they lost 2 games in Minnesota.
That's crazy.
They
That's
lost 2 games and
crazy.
they won 3 in Denver, a place that multiple people say you can't win it,
That's
right? I
crazy.
think we could have probably expected this because that Lakers series, when you look at some of the numbers, and it's like the Lakers are really winning throughout the whole series, like the whole series. and just Denver just knew how to beat them at the end. But Minnesota's just different.
Minnesota, what was the stat at the half? No team, the biggest lead a team came back in game 7 was 11 points.
Yeah, yeah, and Minnesota did it. Yeah, it was
They're down 15.
a nice win. They should feel definitely confident in themselves. Definitely confident in themselves. So, big shouts out to them. Before we even get to the preview of the next like two series, I'll ask. So we got four teams have been eliminated. We already talked about that, like the Cavs, right? And what they should do in the future. So we'll talk about the three. We'll talk about OKC, Denver, and the Knicks. Now, we'll talk about Denver first since we were on them. Let me tell you for next season, most of their guys are back primarily. They have a couple team options for the young guys. They'll resign them. But then Reggie Jackson has a player option for 5 mil. Pretty sure he's gonna resign that player option. Because like he's not gonna go anywhere and someone's gonna pay him more. Like I don't think so. Who's gonna pay Reggie Jackson?
You can ball still, but no, you're a backup. You're not getting like no 15
Yeah.
a year.
Right. So you probably keep the money. KCP has a player option for 15 mil. He's a guy that like once again, I think he's only 31. He's like he's a guy like pay him 3 years. He's getting 15 now, but they would want more of the longevity contract now at his age. He doesn't really care about I wouldn't think. I'm gonna assume that he wouldn't care about the dollar amount. He would care about the length. What do you think?
Maybe a 5-year deal. He's getting what 15 mil for a year?
Yeah, so this is
Oh
he's
shit.
going into his player option year, so he can stay for 15 mil,
Maybe like
right?
a 5-year, 60 M's. I don't know.
Something like that, right? But like for him, no one's gonna sign him to a 5 year. He's probably type player he is. You're only signing max guys to 5 years, so he's probably getting
Shit.
a
Because
three
he's
year.
31, so he's
Yeah,
got still like a good five,
he has a
six.
good five, right? So you're paying him at least like, and you may have to overpay him, but a 3 year, maybe like
Don't
three
say
years 60
50.
sounds a little too much because that's
Yeah.
20 M's. You want to pay him that.
Yeah, like a
But
50.
yeah, 50 because that's about what 18, something like that. Yeah, about 17, 18. So he'll get paid more than he's getting paid. But then he also has the longevity. Because I think 31, he'll be 34 by then. There'll be a bunch more KCPs that people may want. So he should I'm pretty sure he's gonna decline his player option. Because I would love to, if I'm a team, I would Lakers lost because they don't have KCP.
Yep. KCP is a good he can be on any squad in the league. Any squad.
All right. So yeah, I think he's definitely gonna decline it. But if you're Denver, you don't really got a lot of money anymore because you got to pay Jokic 50, Murray 36, Porter 35, Aaron
Hold
Gordon
on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
28.
hold on. Porter's getting 35, huh? And
Yeah,
Murray's getting a
Porter's
little bit above him.
yeah, yeah. But
Murray.
I think Murray can sign an extension
Yeah.
probably this year because his game 36. I'm pretty sure he can sign like a probably a 3, 4 year extension. But Porter's getting 35 next year, 38 the following year, and 40 the next year, but it's not fully guaranteed that 40. But some are saying, do you trade Porter? Do you trade Michael Porter Jr.? Because that's a lot of money. Look at what he did this last game. He's a good third option, though. He is, but Aaron Gordon kind of did his thing over Michael Porter Jr.'s this whole playoff series. So do you keep him?
I like MPJ. Can't front. I like that guy. He's
He's a
hella light
scorer.
skinned, but I like that guy. Right? He does need to get better defensively.
For sure.
He needs to have less of a tunnel vision. Although his job is to shoot, you can still make plays for your teammates.
1,000%. Just because you, oh my god, I wish that could be a T-shirt. Just because your job is to shoot doesn't mean that like do something else. Like we're a team. Pass the
Right?
ball.
I like him. I don't want to give up on this experiment yet. That's my opinion. Right? So to me, I want to keep the 4, or is it the 5, the starting 5?
Yeah,
Right? I like the
me
5.
too.
It's
Yeah, I'll
just a
keep it starting
bench.
five.
It's
Yeah.
to me, it's just you need to have more depth. That's how I feel. And if you can work that out, run with that five. Murray's a good guard. You already know. Pope, Gordon, Jay Joker. That five is a solid five. You just need a bench. You just need glue guys.
The thing is, Reggie Jackson is a good bench guy. He actually is a good bench guy.
No, he
15 minutes a game.
is.
He his thing. And even Percy, I think it's Percy Watson. Percy, what's his name? Percy
Paul
what?
Watson? Is it Paul Watson?
No, Peyton Watson.
Hey, wow.
I
Wow.
think Percy Watson was the old like Oregon college basketball player. My light is messing me up.
Yeah, yeah. It's-
It's like being malfunctioning and shit. There we go. Okay. There we go. That's good. And Christian Braun going 23. So like they may have they can probably sign like a vet minimum. Like they may sign some vet minimums. Why not? Why not? They can do something. They can do something small, I think, around the margins. Like you said, like somebody who someone who may not cost a lot of money because they don't have a lot of cap. They really just don't. But they have to get a bench that's needed. Or you really got to start drafting. Obviously, it's so easy to say draft better, but you got to draft these people who you have to draft seniors from college, right? Don't draft a person like a freshman because they still need a lot of work. At least a senior, you know what you're gonna get out of it. So I think it's one of those things you just gotta kind of push. But yeah, you're right. Stay the status quo with Denver. OKC, let me pull up their salary. But I think I know what you're gonna say if you're OKC. But what would you do if you're OKC's GM?
Man, I'm getting a five. I'm getting a five. Like I'm trying to find a five that's like Turner,
Right.
and that's it. That's it. Period. Play
Yeah, I think
development's there. Everyone get better. Just get better. Period.
they're I'm looking at their age, they're still so young. Once Gordon Hayward, because Gordon Hayward's done, first of all, Gordon Hayward, you know what that man's making? He's making
Do
30
not tell
M's.
me anything more than 30 million in a
He's
season.
making 31 mil.
He
But he was
shouldn't
really
be
good.
making 20 mil a season. He should not be making 20 mil a season.
We have to remember he was really good at one point.
How long ago what did we see a good Gordon Hayward?
A long
Is my
time ago.
question.
Long time ago. Long time ago.
Like I feel like it was in Boston because it
Yeah,
wasn't in Charlotte.
like after he got healthy after the injury, he was good in Boston for a little bit. And then yeah, but he put out a quote that he basically felt like he was he wasn't he was handled okay, but he feels like he could have done more. And he wishes that he would have done more for the team and like he wished he was asked to do more. Brother, you had minutes. You scored 0 points. Sometimes stop pointing. Stop pointing.
When at
Point
you.
it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that exactly.
Like,
Because
stop, don't do that.
I keep forgetting Hayward was on OKC. And I'm like, oh, when you check the name, I'm like, oh yeah, he's on the squad. He's on the squad. You know, it got so bad. I remember James Johnson is on the Pacers more than Hayward is on OKC.
Come on, man. Like he hasn't done anything. But this team, I think they can potentially sign somebody. I don't know how much I know they have cap space, but I don't know. I'll search how much cap space they have because like next year it's Shea for 35 mil and then Dort for 16, and then they have like nothing else. That's why they're one of the hardest teams to trade players because none of their players make money. Only
Mm,
Shea does, and then Dort does. But you kind of like
it was
Dort
on a
because
rookie deal. That's why.
yeah, everyone's a rookie deal, so it's like they're a little stuck, but I think we
I'm
can
calling
both.
Indiana if I'm OKC. I'm like, hey, what do you guys want for Turner?
Oh, I don't think they would do it. No way, they wouldn't do it.
You gotta think what you want. You can't think of what they're not gonna do, right? As your GM, you're
Right.
trying to get the best five.
And if they have cap space, then I think if you have cap space, it doesn't matter because your player you're trading is going into their cap space, so you don't need to go 20 for 20. Like your 20 mil, I gotta match it with like it's like 90% of the dollar. I don't gotta do that when the team has cap space, and they have so much cap space.
You guys should
Um,
release Hayward then. Fuck. But then you're gonna still have to pay him.
Definitely stop to pay him. Definitely. I want to
It's
go.
not good to trade right now. Let me see, Hayward.
Let's see. So I know it's number one is Philly, then it's Detroit, which the Detroit's a team that we should watch out for to like who's gonna somehow sign random players.
Honestly, I'm Detroit getting better. I want to say they're gonna make the play in about 4 years.
Detroit has 72 mil in cap space, and there's already rumors that like Tobias is gonna come back.
Buy Tobias, buy Philly.
Oh my
Don't need
gosh.
you.
Philly has about 60. Then it goes Utah has 44. So don't be shocked if they try to get some, but it's not like
What
a
is
lot of
Utah
guys.
trying to do? Because you have a bunch
Yes.
of guys over there that are not bad, but their chemistry is not the best,
Right.
right? Like I like
Right.
Walker Kessler. I like Clarkson. I do even fuck with Sexton.
He's good. He's
And
good.
Rory is my guy. But
He's
it's
good.
who are you building around? Is Carson gonna be your 6 man period? Is Laurie gonna be your number one guy? Is Sexton gonna be your like what's your direction?
That's why remember I was telling you, Utah's my team. Where they are now is too much in the middle. They're not even in the middle. They're like they're just not in the bottom, but they're pretty much in the middle. Like because you're nowhere near the top. Like you're nowhere near the top.
But they're
You're
not near
not,
the bottom.
and you're nowhere near the bottom. You're such in the middle, but you're like you're not gonna your players will never get you to the top. Larry Markkinen, unless he legit turns into Dirk Nowitzki the next day, he's just not that guy. He's not him, right? Laurie's a good number two, most likely a number three guy on a title team. Like
Yeah.
Sexton's a good guy to have off the bench. Like, no, you guys need to like trade Laurie, trade him. Like, and but I think this is this. Oh, now OKC has 40 mil in cap space.
That's good still.
That's really good. That's really good. San Antonio has like 35 mil. I
That's
was
not even bad. San Antonio and they got what pick again?
they have 4 and 8, right? Like they can do like so much teams can actually spend money. Like even like if Detroit wanted to, they can call, hey Paul, yeah. You want to come? Oh, hold on. We have Pascal on the other line. Hey Pascal, we have Paul George on the other line. We're about to give him 40. We'll give you 40. We have Cade. We have a bunch of young guys. Detroit doesn't have good water. Don't worry about it. We'll get you good water. Don't
We'll
worry.
import it for you. Import it.
We're important. They can get two max guys like this.
Okay, my next question is how big of a market is Detroit? Because we already know the Giants, Knicks, right? Golden State, right?
Detroit's still pretty
Lakers.
nice, right? Because people would still like Detroit. Detroit has two titles in the past 20, what, let's say 30 years. They have two titles, right?
Remember, they won like not 20 years ago. So
Right.
the last 25 years, I have two titles. Yeah, yeah.
So they have something. They've that
It
one,
was
and then
oh
let's say
05, oh
35
06.
years ago, because
Okay,
'89 they won
they have four in 35 years.
three.
They had the back to back, and then they had another. Did they have another back to back?
There's one back to back, and then 004.
Okay, why I keep thinking it's back to back with Rip Hamilton? Okay, they got the finals and then they lost. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, to San
yeah.
Antonio.
Okay, so it's three.
So
Yeah,
like Detroit has bare money, but teams have money. So even OKC can be like, once again, to me, I keep saying it. Paul George, what's up? You don't got to
Publishing
worry about Shea
systems, huh?
getting hurt. You don't got to worry about nobody getting hurt. That's why people are like, maybe OKC, they'll try to call for a Pirtle. Pirtle makes 20 mil. That goes into their cap space because here's their squad, right? Shea is 25, Dort is 25, Chet 22, Giddy 21, which I think we both agree. Giddy's
Giddy,
probably getting traded,
100.
right?
Then got benched.
He's getting traded. He's 21. Kendrick Will is 29, and people they like him. He didn't get a lot of minutes, but Cason Wallace is a guy that I'm pretty confident. If you're trading with OKC, you want Cason Wallace. You just he's really good. 20. Osman Dang is 20. J Dub is 23. I don't even know which one is which. Oh wow, the other Jalen Williams is 21. Isaiah Joe 24. Like they just have youth.
All young.
They just have
The
youth, man.
highest age was 25.
Your best player is 25. Your second best player is 20. Third is like 23. Come on.
I know Chet's 20. Holy shit.
Like
And
you're
he's
good.
balling
You're good.
still.
And you have cap space. And you have draft pick galore. OKC, you know what to do.
Oh, yeah.
Trade your. They have a top. I think a top. They have 11th draft pick this year, and I think they have another top 30 draft
How
pick.
much draft
You
picks
have
they have this year? 11?
no, no. They have number 11. That's the draft pick.
Number, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
and I'm pretty sure they have like second rounders and everything. And they have multiple. They have like 4 next year, 5 the fall. Like they have draft picks, second round draft picks. Like now they're gonna be stuck one day because eventually Chet's getting a max contract.
100.
So is J Dub. And you're gonna eventually want to re-sign a Shea. So you already have your 3 max guys. You already have it. So you gotta figure it out. If I'm them, I told you I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm putting it in existence. I'm praying Anthony Davis or LeBron James says I'm not coming back to LA. I am calling Lakers. I'm calling. I'll give you. This may sound crazy, but I really truly believe this. Now, pretend you're the Lakers, right? I'm OKC. I want Anthony Davis. I'm willing to give you a bad because you have to take a bad contract to match. That's fine. You take a bad contract, which I know you're willing to take. You can take Giddy as well. I'll give you Cason Wallace and another young guy. Like it doesn't matter. I'm not giving you my big 3 young guys, but I'll give you another young guy. I'll give you
Okay.
3 young guys. Plus, I'll give you 4 first round picks and some second rounders
For
for
AD, so
Anthony
it
Davis.
sound like 7 players.
That's how much. Because if you're OKC, you have 80 at the center. Power forward is Chet. Your 3 is J Dub. But if you can keep Dort, Dort is your 2, and you have Shea,
I think they
bro,
can keep Dort. I think they can keep Dort.
that's a title.
Be reasonable this contract to keep Dort. Because I like him on defense. He picked up a couple quick fouls. You know,
Right,
he picked quick fouls, but he's just being aggressive. But overall, his defense is going over screens and shit.
right.
His 3-pointer got better. I'm not gonna lie, it got better. I fuck
So
with Dort.
like, so you would you say yes if you're the Lakers? Mind you, you don't have LeBron anymore. He's gone.
Then it's a rebuild. Then LeBron's
Yeah.
gone. If LeBron is gone, and then AD, we're looking to move AD. Then yeah, it's a rebuild. Because outside of LeBron and AD on the Lakers, how much games are they winning?
Exactly. Exactly. Right? If I'm done, I'm definitely doing it. I'm trying to take as much picks from OKC as I can. But and the things OKC has Houston's picks. They have like other teams' picks. No, I'll take whatever.
And players are going to want to play for Lakers anyway, so they can get a bunch of picks, and guys are going to want to go over there because, like, okay, there's no one established over there. I can go be that guy and then build something over there. And it's LA. They're going to get guys.
Because imagine if you lose LeBron's contract and you lose Anthony Davis' contract, what do you
That's
now have? Cap
Yep.
space.
Yeah. So
So you're winning. So I don't know. I always think that. But I think we both agree, OKC, you have the picks. You have to make some moves.
the
Don't
world is
wait, don't
yours.
chill.
The world is
Um,
yours.
and get a center, like you said. Get a center. If you have to trade a draft pick to get a draft pick and get Zach Edey, even as a backup big, get a backup big.
So, oh,
But
true. Yeah, they
but do
need.
something. Don't just do nothing. That's the one thing you shouldn't do is do nothing. Next squad is the New York Knicks. They're a little bit older. The OG is gonna decline his player option for sure because he's gonna look for beer money. Me and you've talked about this multiple times. We're probably gonna talk about it again when we talk about the like everyone else and the off season. How much are you paying OG? How much years? And how much are you paying OG?
Per season on the real, always getting per season right now. Maybe like I think 15, 20.
He's getting OG's getting 19.
Okay, so I want to pay him 15 a year personally.
Damn, why so low?
Is it that low? Like I just want to have cap space and enough room to get more guys. That's all. It's always good to have cap space. So I'm trying to not. I'm definitely not trying to overpay. I'm on a Messiah contract. Like try to get the best deal. Everyone to buy in for a little bit less. We can get land someone else. So we can get over that hump. This is all about teamwork here. This is not about I need to get paid, he needs to get paid. This is all about a team.
The things they have a lot of like smaller contracts, which I think is perfect. I don't think they're paying Julius Randle like that crazy. He's getting paid 30 mil. I do know there's a Brunson extension that they can do, I think this offseason. They can do a Brunson extension. Now, Brunson is 20, he's 27. See, I'll do a Brunson extension. Because the worst thing is if it's a bad contract, he'll turn 33, 34. If it's a bad contract. Like so that's not bad, actually. I would definitely do a Brunson extension. But the one thing you want to do for the New York Knicks, you want to give them depth because you can't be playing. But then,
Is
man,
Tibbs gonna play them though? Even if he has
that's
the
yeah. Will he do it? That's what matters. You can give him 10 guys, but is Tibbs gonna play him?
Tibbs gonna play 7 guys, and this is regular season games.
Mm. That's what I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want that at all. But I think they have. See, Boyan, they still have Boyan, and Boyan's nice, but Tibbs doesn't really play Boyan, but I think you should.
And he wasn't really
They're gonna give
playing.
OG,
Yeah,
do you know
and I
OG's
was
getting like a 25 mil contract, right?
say it again.
OG's probably getting a 25 mil contract. Plus, he may get 30.
Like I know he showed out, but
He may
okay,
get
20.
30.
That's an improvement. 20, 21.
Yeah, he may get it. He may get it.
30,
Yeah, he may
25,
get it.
OG 30 a year?
Yeah, I agree. Like
That's 3 years, 90 mil?
now that he's getting like a probably a 4 year, I'm probably getting 4 year 120 mil.
Wow, everyone's really getting paid. I'm gonna try to start watching high school ball.
Like
This is crazy.
he
OG, he can play, but damn, like,
see, I
damn.
think we're coming from a place of being guys who watched him with the Raptors. We know OG's good offensively. He's better than like he's not bad offensively.
He's
OG
not.
has qualities, but OG Anunoby, you're paying 30 mil. This man, respectfully, gets hurt a lot. Hurt a lot.
And he cannot finish on a break one-on-one. Can't. I'm sorry. And we're giving him 30 mil a season.
To
You
be your
cannot
third
finish
guy.
one-on-one. I seen Jaden McDaniels finishing one-on-one with contact on a break. OG can't. And this is regular season where you're gonna get the calls.
Yeah, I
30
just don't.
million?
Yeah, I don't think OG's a $30 million guy. I don't think so.
These
I
contracts
don't
are
think.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
This is
no.
ridiculous.
His what he does for you, you love it. Amazing
100%.
3 and D. He's an amazing defender. He can guard wings, guard bigs. He's really good at all that. But I wouldn't be a fan of paying him 30 mil, especially for this squad. Like you're already paying Randall 30 mil and you're already paying Brunson 30 mil. Like,
That's
that's too
three
much.
players. Holy.
Like, and the three players, and mind you, I love this Knicks team. I actually do. I love grinded out teams. Like I love that. I was even gonna ask you, like, it's funny how I think we watch. We don't know. None of us like super teams. As NBA fans, we don't like super teams. We love the New York team that like a bunch of guys who are just fighting. We like love that type of
Like
squad,
what we were seeing. Yeah.
right? So but yeah, I agree. I'm probably paying OG. I would try to convince OG because I know the way the league is, the cap is gonna grow. I'll say 25 mil a year for like 4 years. Even at that, I agree with you. That he gets injured too much for me to want that. Way too much. Way too much. He came to New York. He played on New York for he played for 20 games, was injured half the time, plays in the playoffs, gets injured again. Like he doesn't stay healthy. Like why would you want that? So would you trade Randall?
No. Mm-mm.
You're not doing it.
Mm-mm.
He makes 30 mil and then his 32 mil for the following season is a player option.
We kind of started with Randall, this new New York Knicks.
Yeah.
So I like Randall. He's aggressive. He rebounds. It's just, I don't know. You need to get his attitude needs to get in check, right?
I think he's kind of tunnel vision.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think the whole
So
squad
the
is
thing
tunnel vision.
is, how far are they gonna go without Randall in the regular season? Are they gonna do this again? You think? Is it worth to trade Randall? Do they work better without Randall? Are guys going to develop more without Randall?
Yeah, no. Unless Randall's gonna take, and me and you said it from early. The best version of the team behind us, Minnesota, is when Karl Anthony Towns takes a step back and realizes I'm not the number one guy. I'm gonna do everything else. We've never seen Karl Anthony Towns play this great defense. He was guarding the MVP.
Yeah, I was impressed. He was bodying him up. It was some bad calls. The refs were giving some bad calls on him, but I fuck with the effort. Going
Right.
after blocks and shit. And even though they're calling some bullshit calls, something like this. Towns?
This is Karl Anthony Towns.
I see him
So
getting low hands out. Towns? I remember Towns before just on defense, just like a pylon.
like will Randall do that? You spoke about Randall's attitude. When things are going right, is Randall gonna put his head down and then like
There's
be
another-
all like annoying? Or is he gonna be with the team, fight with the team? When you seen Josh Hart like darn near kill himself in every possession, are you gonna do the same thing, Randall, or are you gonna walk away?
Ronald's definitely going to be walking up the court. That's why you have to get him in check. If you don't get him in check, then you got to ship him. Because you can't have that on the squad. Because other guys, I'm like, he's a starter. He's doing this. He's not playing hard. Or why the hell should I type shit. So he needs to get his attitude in check. Or Tibbs needs to, or something. Something needs to get done. If not, then you got to do what you got to do. Because culture is a big thing on why teams win championships.
Right,
Locker room, culture. You know what I mean?
right,
Big reason.
right. So I think they're gonna have an interesting summer because I think they want to be aggressive. We even talk about this whole every day we hear Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks, Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks, all that stuff. And the more I think about it, and please tell me if I'm wrong, Mitchell and Brunson don't go together at all.
Hell no. Hell no. They don't go together at all. You need two balls.
Legit. And Randall too on the same squad?
You need three balls.
Like that just doesn't happen, right?
Already, I want to see Brunson and Randall in the playoffs together. I want to see
I
how
want
that.
to see that too. Yeah. Especially with this squad and how they all work together. Like that I think you almost want to keep them together because you have the Nova boys, the Villanova guys, kind of keep that flowing. You have a solid bench. You have McBride, who I think we do like. Like you have
Deuce, deuce,
like
deuce.
you have a good squad. So I'm curious what they do. But if you had to ever upgrade, you try to upgrade that number one guy or a number two guy in Randall. But Jalen Brunson showed out, man. Honestly, when we talk about the word MVP, most valuable to their team, I don't care. Brunson's the most like Embiid's actually the most valuable to his team,
Yes,
but Brunson to me is second, most valuable player to his squad.
that's your opinion. I go with Shea. Is
That's true.
I
So
go with
yeah, but like yeah. But I think like at least after Shea, you have Chet and Jalen, even though they're both so young and not prepared or ready for it. Brunson, man, like he was really everything for them,
Shea.
right? Like they made him play with a lot of the heart and stuff.
40s.
But those teams are all interesting. I think this offseason, Woj already said it, that this offseason has potential to be crazy. Like because of the cap space, because of like teams want to make a move, and what's about to happen now with the fact that the team behind us, the Denver Mavericks, the Pacers, the two most active teams in the trade deadline in February were the Mavericks and the Indiana Pacers. Look where they are now.
That's crazy.
The
Shout out to
most
Gafford.
active,
Shout out to
right?
Gafford.
So another topic that I wanted to bring up was, and before the last topic we'll do is talk about both series. I want to see what you thought about this. I was going to mention it on the last pod, but I kind of forgot. We don't have any more stars. Like, not right now. Like, the rest of this run has no stars. We have stars in the making, like the guy behind me, and then, of course, Luca, but we have no star. Like, I'm not saying we miss it because I think we love ball regardless. As long as mans are competing, we don't care. As long as mans are competing, we don't want a super team anyway. But there's no you know, we can talk about superstar in regards to play and what they do outside. But actual star, when we talk about star, our moms know this person. That's a star.
Yeah,
When we talk about general life, I always, black people, we always go like black famous or just world famous. Like some people are black famous. Trey Songz is black famous. Okay,
yeah,
a white mom from Nebraska doesn't know who Trey Songz is.
yeah, yeah.
That's
It's
just what
true.
it is,
It's true.
right?
True.
There's three guys who are popular in the NBA: LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. Three most popular guys in ball. We don't have a star at all, and I'm not.
Luca, obviously in this series, right?
But like a star, like an actual star,
People know Luca still. People know Luca.
they know Luca. So I don't know. I think we're missing
People are starting to learn about Edwards, Tatum. Like Boston is just like,
boring.
and you're right. Like they do shoot threes. They got two star players, right? And they shoot threes, but
That's it. They're not exciting at all. It's not fun to watch them. That's what I also mean, right? Like Edwards and Luca are like the most stars we have. Like heck, Tyrese Halliburton's more of like his game is like you said is more fun. Like you said originally, the Pacers are way more fun to watch than Boston.
100, yeah.
Like they just are, right? Boston's only fun to watch when they're facing Miami for some reason. I don't know what it is. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
series is always too fun.
I
But
agree with
like,
you.
yeah. Like, do you think I just basically said no, but like let me know like why I'm wrong or why do I think there needs to be a star? Not really, but
You
I
mean
feel
a
like we're missing
face? There
something.
should. There usually is a face. Like they're one of the faces, the Mount Rushmore, current Mount Rushmore, right? There
Yeah.
usually is, but now it's just they kind of pushing there to the changing the guard type. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be something new, like KD out early, LeBron out early, Giannis injured out early. Like all these guys out early or
Like
didn't make.
Jokic was getting there. Jokic's stardom was kind of because people are like, who's this big white guy who
Yeah,
like, shows no emotion
yeah.
and like who's this guy? But then he's gone.
There's no. You're right. Well, in that case, yeah, you're right because Luca's getting there and is Laurie's on the come up, but you have to know Tatum is people know Tatum.
Boring.
They know Tatum, but right and Pacers, unless you watch ball, if you see them in the airport, you're not gonna know who anyone's name is.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a bug.
You'll just see a 6'7" guy, 6'8" guy walking. You'll be like,
They play ball.
they have to, right? Like you're just gonna question,
Who are you guys? Who are you guys? See a
right?
6'4" light skinned skinny dude smiling with curly ass hair. Like they must do something. Who they?
With
Right? But
security guards around them, like yeah, you're getting stopped. But yeah, I was really thinking like, hey, you're right. Maybe it's really just the end of the era. Like
it
no
is.
LeBron, no Steph, no KD. Like it's gone. It's
Look at all
gone.
those guys that let's say Edwards will be looking up to the Westbrook, Harden, KD,
Yeah,
LeBron, Giannis,
it's all
all
gone.
there.
It's all a bunch of
Steph,
new guys. Uh 20 all leading guys from each team are like 26 and under. Tyrese and Ant are from the 2020 draft. Like these are some
yeah.
young guys who are leaving and Luca's Luca. But yeah, to our final two topics, which is the two games. You want to go Western Conference or Eastern Conference?
Let's start with the West.
The series I think most people are more excited about anyway. The Wolves versus the Mavericks. It should be a fun series. Next week, or let's say in 2 weeks, right? The series should be done in 2 weeks. The Minnesota Timberwolves have won this series. Let me know why. Why did Minnesota win? What do you think happened?
Minnesota win because probably have more size. Defense is better, more size defensively. And it's going to come down to who wants it more. But I feel like the size is going to really bother the Mavericks. I feel like that's really going to bother the Mavericks still because they got guys to guard their bigs. You know
They
what I
do.
mean? They got length to guard them play the passing lanes, right? So yeah, McDaniels is that utility wing defender, right? And getting it after on defense too. Conley's solid. So I already heard Ant say I'm guarding Kyrie.
Which was early. That was during like They're leaving. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna guard Kyrie. How you know who your matchup is already? But he said
You
it.
don't care, and I love it. We need this type of ball. We need guys that want to challenge. He wants to
Yeah.
challenge. If he gets smoked, he gets smoked, and he'll hold it. But Kyrie's gonna just destroy him, and he's gonna destroy Kyrie.
In their season series, that's what I'm looking at now. It looks like did they only play? They played three times. It looks like Minnesota beat them. Yeah, Minnesota beat them 3-1, 3-1. So, um, yeah, I think if Minnesota is the one winning, like you said, it's too much size on Minnesota's side. On Minnesota's side, you can't really. I don't know who's guarding Karl Anthony Towns unless you start Gafford and Lively.
You can't. I
You
think it has
can't
to be
because
PG.
right. So then it may have to be PJ Washington or Derrick Jones Jr. But there
It
you
can't be
you
Derrick
want
Jones
Derrick
Jr. It
Jones
has to be
Jr.
PG.
on Ant.
You need some length on Ant, so I would say it's probably gonna be Derrick Jones Jr. on Ant. Athletic,
Right.
got some length too, but shoot, man, who's gonna
Now,
do that?
in 2 weeks, the Dallas Mavericks won the series. How'd they win?
They made shots. I can't see for Dallas to win, they have to shoot a good field goal, decent, and limit the turnovers.
Very key, the turnovers.
Limit the turnovers. And another key thing too, Kyrie Irving has to not be casual in the first quarter and the second quarter, and then I'm going to turn on the third, fourth quarter. He's got to from jump, kill, first quarter, second quarter, third, fourth quarter. That happens, they can win the series. Luka's going to kill regardless. You know what I mean? It's just up to Kyrie to have his foot on the gas from the tip.
I think Kyrie was probably the better player this last series, but like it's impact is everything. Luka's more impactful. He just
Yeah.
is. So if Luka's on, they're on. I know his knee was bothering him last, but here's the thing. You know what? Who's a better defender, Dort or McDaniels? Or it's kind of like the same to you,
Honestly, I'm a coach. I rather McDaniels because of the length.
right? The line for this. So then that's who's is gonna guard him. But Luka's still Luka. I think if Dallas wins, it's because Luka honestly had the series of his lifetime. And like he's had amazing series. He had the one with Phoenix, one with the Clippers, but this is the real series. Like he has to have the series of his like lifetime.
And he's
Uh
capable. It's not like
yeah,
it's like if he has it, everyone's gonna be like, "Where did this come from?" It's gonna be like, "Oh,
right.
he's capable."
And then Kyrie has to be a really good second, like you said, like a really good second. And if PJ Washington is shooting the ball the way he's been shooting the ball, oh, then they're good. And defensively, the team is since like a certain point of the season, they're a top 10 defensively. So they're not that bad. Kyrie's been
That
locked
is
down
impressive.
defensively.
Yeah.
So it's been good. So prediction for the series.
Like I said a couple weeks ago, the dark horse in the West for me was the Mavericks, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick with the Mavericks. Mavs in seven.
Um, I definitely hope both series go seven. I love when it goes to a 7 game series. I think this one will. I think the way they both the Minnesota Timberwolves act too young sometimes,
Yeah.
hence why they go to 7 games. I think they're gonna go to 7 games for sure. See, if it goes to seven, you're telling me one game. Oh, I'm picking Luka. I'm picking Kyrie. Game seven, I'm picking those two guys.
Yeah, those
So
like they're known to close. Kyrie can close in the playoffs. Like, granted, they closed yesterday. They closed, but I've seen it more, or we've seen it more from Luka and Kyrie, especially Kyrie, because he has the
especially
ring.
Kyrie. The things like I want to go Minnesota, but honestly, you've been on the train for a minute for Dallas, and I'm like, it's weird. I think both teams are just so good,
Yeah,
Minnesota and Dallas, and but I'm gonna that I think I'm gonna go Dallas. No, you know what? I think because the bigs are too big. I'm gonna go Minnesota in seven. I'm
okay.
gonna go Minnesota, and I know I just said that the two guys are too good in the game seven. But I just think the size of Minnesota, like Carlton Towns, I keep thinking, who's guarding this guy?
It's
Like
true.
you have to match Carlton Towns. Like that's why we said it. He's a mismatch.
And he can shoot the three very
He's
well.
such a mismatch.
So it's
Like he's a mismatch. So I just think they have a better chance. They have a better bench as well. Naz Reid and Nikhil can score the ball. So I'm gonna go them in seven. But I think the series can be so good and so entertaining.
the thing with Karl
Um,
Anthony Towns with PJ, he can keep in front of Karl Anthony Towns laterally, but Karl Anthony Towns is just gonna shoot over him. So it comes down to
yeah,
the pick and pop. He's gonna shoot over him, and on that post turnaround, he's gonna shoot over him. But if Karl Anthony Towns tries to drive, PJ's gonna lock that, right?
yeah.
So
Okay, the series I care about a lot. Pacers and Boston. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna lie. I 1000% want the Pacers to win this series.
I know you do. I know.
It's always been an F Boston. I love Jason Tatum and I love Jaylen Brown. I love Drew
Trust me.
Holiday. I like Derek White. You've always been a big Kristaps Porzingis fan.
Shout out KP. Shout out Crispy.
I just it's Boston. F Boston. I can't root for them.
I'm gonna
Even
keep it
though,
up. Let me tell you something about Beantown.
yeah,
It's gonna be 4 games to 2.
yeah,
That's my call with Beantown.
wow.
A lot of people
It's
are
a
saying Pacers won or Pacers swept. Disrespectful. You guys are disrespectful.
I, I think the Pacers gonna get swept. I ain't gonna hold you. I think
No,
so.
no,
I think Boston's good, but then I also think the Pacers also like
no.
they lost to Miami Heat.
They're
Like
not getting swept. These guys are guaranteed to have at least 1 to 2 games where they're shooting
that's the
lights up,
thing. That's the thing. That's the thing.
right? And another thing, didn't the Pacers, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they shoot 67%
They did.
in game seven? That's
Yeah,
50% from three.
yeah. The best are the best. I think the one thing the Pacers should do, immediately change their starting unit. Bring in what's his name? Toppin for size.
Yes, yes.
Take out Nemhard. So then you can put Halliburton on Holiday. You can put Nesmith in on like you just change it. Just change
Yeah.
the lineup. At least you have more size, more length.
They can go 10.
I,
They can go 10. They can go
I,
10. So you can always just guys can get 20, 25 minutes and be off the bench and it's still all good.
like you don't need Pascal should not guard Jason Tatum. Pascal was a really good defender back in the day. He's slowed
Yeah.
down as his offense is picked up. He should not guard Jason Tatum. He's gonna foul him the whole time.
Yeah.
At all. So unless you switch it up, Pascal, if anything, should guard
He is
Jaylen Brown because Jaylen Brown's not gonna he's not gonna he likes to shoot the ball, even though Jason Taylor shoot the ball too. I just think it'll be a better matchup. You
it's
put
an
Aaron
easier
Nesmith.
guard. Force
Yeah,
Brown left. That's
of
it.
course, yes.
Closed out the shot, force him left. Tatum is
Correct.
a little bit more trickier.
Yeah, so I think then you put Aaron on him, but then maybe Pascal go guards him. I don't know. I just don't
Aaron
think
on that's gonna be hard because Aaron is what how tall is Aaron? Right?
six
So
four
yeah, and Tatum is 6'9" with a silky smooth jumper. So he's
legit.
just gonna Tatum's gonna be light skinned, just rub his head, get the ball, rub his head, get the ball, and just
And shoot.
6'4", and
Yeah,
he's not like a like
yeah.
a what can I say, like a Lou Dort,
Yeah,
right?
he's not as big as he has a little size to him, right? Like we both can see how Boston will win. So there's no Boston will it's a better team. So Boston has almost the easiest route to win a title. Boston, you don't win a title, you're lame.
We can't say that. We'd have the easiest route to the finals.
Easier to the finals.
To the
Yeah,
finals.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
still that guy behind you, huh?
Problem. He's a problem. So we already know what Boston's doing. If in 2 weeks I tell you, and I'm buying a jersey, a Pacers jersey, saying, "Look at my team, go." I hope Masai's watching. Masai, I hope you're Hey, Masai, I hope you're watching. I hope you are watching, Masai.
Ah, ah.
I hope you are watching. If the Pacers have made it to the finals, what's the reason?
Yo. Here's made to the finals. I got 2 letters to start of TJ, right?
He's a problem.
TJ, if he can, TJ has to average 16 a game.
Ooh, that's a lot. You're asking a lot from him.
14 to 16 a game. He's need to be pressing Drew Holiday up the court,
Yeah.
right?
No, no, no. Derek White. Derek White is their engine.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
He's their engine. Derek White has a bad game, they're losing the game.
The thing is, Boston kind of has size. They kind of,
But they're
compared
also
to the
top
Pacers.
heavy. And we have to KP is not gonna play until like game 3.
They need to take advantage then Pacers.
1000%.
I don't know who's guarding KP on Indiana. It's Turner. It's Turner. Yeah, it's Turner. That's a good matchup, actually.
Yeah, it's good. Turner, he's agile enough to guard
Yes.
KP. But the thing is, Boston doesn't really have a bench.
Not really. To me, they need to Pacers. They need to make shots. McCall needs to play well, right? They
Yeah,
need to make shots. Pascal has to be playing out of his mind for the series.
he has to. He needs to. Him and Halliburton need to be aggressive.
Halliburton needs to be, yes, I'm forgetting. Halliburton needs to be aggressive. I know you're looking for the pass a lot, but you need to
Like
score.
Boston's bench is this is where they can lose because Boston's bench is who Peyton Pritchard,
Which is,
Cornette, who can shoot threes. I know that,
yeah.
and Sam Hauser, who can also shoot threes. I'm sorry, Cornette can't shoot. Hauser that can shoot threes. Like unless they go Exover Tillman for size, Indiana has a better bench, but that starting five is what is now the best starting five, but probably the second best starting five to Denver's starting five.
Which is true. The
So I don't know, man.
Pacers, I feel like Pacers bench probably scored the most bench points in the playoffs. And I don't need to look at the stat.
All I would say is please don't go 10 deep, Pacers. Don't go 10 deep. This is round, we're not in the conference finals. We gotta go like unless you're just outrunning them, then yeah, maybe you gotta go 10 deep.
And I think they would do that still to outrun them because
Yeah, yeah.
I like their 10. I'm not gonna lie.
They have Ben Shepherd, who's a good defender. Like they to me, I don't want Pascal to guard anyone. I want him to kind of stay on the side
He's going
because
to have to.
he's gonna have Boston's too nice. But if you stop Derek White, like if they the real game changer would be like if you somehow put Toppin in to guard Tatum, you
Yeah.
have Naismith to guard on thing, and tell Pascal to guard White because of the height difference.
I like that actually. I like that. I like that.
Right? Because Derek White is their engine, bro. He is their engine. That guy is the
Pascal guard
most
White.
unafraid.
You have Turner on Horford,
Right.
right? Because remember, Horford comes off the bench when KP's there, right?
Yep. Yep.
So that would add to their bench too, right? But
Right.
so yeah, Turner on Horford. Tatum is guarded by
You go Toppin.
Toppin. Brown is guarded by because White is guarded by Siakam. Who's guarding Brown?
Brown, you can put Pascal, even put Pascal on that, right? And you go Nemhard on White, even though White's taller than Nemhard, but he can annoy him, right? The
You can
thing
do
is,
Nemhard. Nemhard puts an effort.
right, and all you gotta do because Holiday and Halliburton will just be with each other the whole time.
Yeah.
Now Holiday's still a great defender, still a
Very
really good
much
defender.
so.
So I can't diss him, but Halliburton, he's coming of age, he's doing his thing. But then we go back to bench, bring KP, doesn't matter. The bench is you got Indiana's bench will still have Toppin. If they switch Toppin with Nemhard, then you have Nemhard, TJ McConnell. So you have guys who are just guard, just out like they're gonna outguard them. Like yeah, Boston has size, but you're not as quick as them. They'll put you in foul trouble easier. Like it's a
Which is
thing,
true. Which is true.
right? So yeah, so you're saying our prediction will be you're going 6 games Boston.
6 games Boston, but if Indiana were to win the series, you already know.
And if Indiana wins, it's definitely because game 6 would be in Indiana. So if they were to ever win it, it would have to be in Indiana. It'd be hard to win in the Garden, but they also just won in the Mecca. So there's you can say anything is possible. I do think I agree with you. Indiana should win at least a game for sure because the Cleveland won a game and so did the Miami Heat did. So I believe Indiana will have a really nice hot shooting, that will make it. And then Boston's lazy sometimes. They lost every game too since for the
They
playoffs.
played under competition.
for sure. So I think that's gonna be a thing. But I'm honestly, fingers crossed. I'm going for it. I want to go for Indiana. That's what I want. I'm cheering for them. But I'll go Boston because I got to be smart about it and go Boston in a competitive in a six. I'll give a
Never
six game
know. Like we never know. Knicks lost in New York. Denver lost in Denver.
in Denver.
We never know to a young Minnesota
Yeah,
team.
like home field advantage doesn't matter anymore. It
It
used to matter in
doesn't.
the playoffs. It does not matter. Nobody cares. No one cares. Like now, let your fans scream at me. It only motivates me. I don't care. Like I don't care. So, but yeah, it should be fun, man. It's the conference finals are here.
Crazy.
Ball. It's good, man. So we're basically predicting. You're predicting a Dallas versus Boston's finals, and I'm predicting a Minnesota versus Boston finals. So
It's
should be
Kyrie
fun.
going back to the Garden, man. Kyrie going back to the Garden. They're gonna boo him. He's gonna show out. That's what it's gonna be. How I feel in the finals.
Yeah, unless the Pacers are in it, I want Minnesota or Dallas to win. I think like if I have to pick, I'm more of a Indiana than Dallas because I kind of want to see Luca and Kyrie do it. Then Minnesota, and then no one else. 'Cause I don't care for Boston.
I know. I know. No one,
Jason
no one cares
Tatum
for Boston. No one cares
at
for Boston.
all. At all. Okay. Any last word before we end the pod, brother?
Nah, man. We'll just. I just can't wait till Tuesday after the game.
It's gonna be fun. It's
Game
gonna be
one.
fun. It's gonna be
Oh,
fun. So that's our pod. That's the DM pod. That's YS. I am Michael. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will talk again. Hopefully next week when we do the pod, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna say Indiana Pacers are up to nothing. We're gonna say the Dallas Mavericks is tied because we want a 7-game series. We really don't care. As long as it goes to 7. That's our goal. We'll talk again. Peace.